Hello, this is it's me from the future in a way. This is not the right start of the video. You should be seeing me at 3 a.m. talking to you about going to the gym, which you will in a second. But I wanted to give you a quick intro message first. I've already filmed all of that footage. It's actually Monday night, so I have all the footage in my SD card. The problem is I was just rewatching it back in my computer, and it's pretty bad, especially the gym section. So I wanted to give you a heads up on how that's gonna look, so that it's not too terrible at least, or we'll match expectations to reality. And then we'll talk a little bit about how we can do that better in the future. But anyways, you'll see this later in the video, but I did finish my macros. Those are the X. 500 calories, about 400 with some honey, so you'll see that at the end of the video. But anyway, so what happened was the video is very broken apart. It feels very broken apart because I recorded the last sets of every exercise and kind of just talked over them, but it doesn't feel like there's connection between them. So that part is probably going to look very bad. I haven't edited it, but I'm guessing it's going to be pretty tough because I don't have good editing skills to make something bad into something that's decent yet. So the way it's going to go is you'll just see me talking, doing a little bit of an intro. You'll probably see the really bad gym footage after that. And there's a good sort of like monologue at the end when I come back from work. If you don't want to watch the whole gym mess up, I would recommend you do watch the monologue. I think it's worthwhile. Instead of just me talking, sitting down here. That one's good. So yeah, that's sort of expectations for the video. I think what we're gonna do, starting from the next video, is I'll sort of just talk to you in the morning. Tell you I woke up and my pre-gym thoughts or my morning thoughts. We'll go to the gym, and what I'll do is I'll just record me doing the exercises. I just won't talk because also the gym is very loud. And we'll do like a montage where it's, I don't know, me doing the exercises with some background music so you can just see that I did them. But I won't talk over them. That way it sort of shortens the video a bit too, which I think it's good. And then I'll do like pre-gym thoughts. So before I go to the gym, I'll tell you some thoughts. Maybe I'll break down what the workout is, and then I'll do some post-gym thoughts. When I get back home or after I leave the gym, and then when I come back from work, which all this will make sense once you see this video today. We'll sort of do like a longer-ish monologue about what that day looked like. Maybe sometimes we'll switch that up and we'll do it at the start, but that's what I'm thinking. No more like long gym session videos. I'll try to make the story a bit more coherent in the next few. So bear with me. I know this is bad, but again, that's the journey. It's just terrible till it gets good. So yeah, that's it. On to the video now. So I'll send you guys with 3 a.m. version of me. All right. Good morning. It is August 25th, 2025. About 3:41 a.m. currently. Woke up about 40 minutes ago. Made my bed. Got some stuff in place. Changed clothes. Today's gym day. I mean, every day is gym day. We go at 3:45, so I'm getting ready for that. Had some trouble setting up the camera. SD card wasn't working, but hopefully we'll figure that out later. So yeah, gonna get a snack before I go to the gym, get my creatine in, so let you guys see that, and then I'll see you guys at the gym. We'll talk a little bit more about what I'm doing there and how stuff goes. All right, so let's turn on this slide and get the day started. All right. Alright, first off is creatine. 5 grams. It's not been working like super well. You know, I mean, I don't know, I haven't tracked it, but I've been doing my 5 grams for about 2 weeks now. No, maybe 3 weeks. So I guess that's loading phase because I haven't done 10, just 5. But I haven't felt any different. I did creatine before and felt a lot fuller. Don't feel like that this time. Might just be the brand. Might switch it up when I finish. Probably still got half the tub left, so we'll see. We'll still have to drink it anyways. Cheers if you're doing this with me. It's always refreshing. All right, so gonna get a snack. It's kind of like a rice cake with some honey. Just, you know, pre-workout snack. See that my gym buddy's in here yet? I don't think so. So we've got a bit of time. All right, gym snack. Literally just like some rice cakes and then some honey, which fixes everything. I don't think they're rice cakes. I think they're like corn cakes. But you know, the comparison works. Nothing special about these snacks. Oh god, I don't know that you could see me. Nothing special about the snacks. Not a ton of calories. I think the corn cakes maybe have like 24 calories each, like 58 total, or 21, 52 total, something like that. Just look like that. I don't really count those in my macros, just because, you know, they're so negligible. I don't even count the honey either. Kind of just do this so I can, you know, not die in the gym. So we just put some honey in here. And then, you know, no magic to this, just throw some on the other. That's about it. You know, I'm not a gym guru or anything by any means. You know, I guess in the gym maybe you'll get to see my physique, which is not great, I'll warn you. So I'm just starting, right? So this is the point of the channel, you kind of learning with me. Just very generally counting my calories and my protein and my carbs and my fats in the Macro Factor app. You sort of see that, how I do that through the week. Just trying to hit a surplus and then go to the gym. That's how basic we're keeping it. So snack is done right here. Gonna eat it on the way to the gym, and then I'll see you guys at the gym. All right, just made it to the gym. It was kind of awkward doing this. But yeah, hitting upper today. We do upper, lower, push, pull, legs sort of routine. It's like a Jeff Nippard program. So today's upper, so it's a bit of chest, a bit of shoulders, and then think some back. So yeah, we'll record some exercises and see how it goes. All right, so first order of the day is incline press for a bit of chest. We already did 2 warm-up sets. So we're gonna do a heavy one, and then we'll do a back off. Wow, hopefully I can do this well enough. All right. Eight. One more. All right, that was that. Whew, that's to the back offset. So it's the way he structures the program, I think, Jeff, is you do like one very heavy set and then you do so like a back off with more control. So we're gonna do that. I think it's like time efficient. Okay, 12 reps. Or like 15 maybe, because we did 10 last time. Six, come on. Eight. Two more, come on. All right, so see Brandon? So you can probably tell, again, not a gym guru. I don't know how to do the movements right. Probably doing them very wrong, but that's the point, right? It's we learn as we go. We just gotta do stuff every day. So yeah, hopefully in a year I'll be doing actual good incline presses. All right, so it's the first time I'm ever using straps, which is, I don't know, it feels weird. I think maybe, you know, we were talking about it with my gym bro, I guess you could say, about how this isn't metal, so maybe they don't work quite as well. But you know, we'll try them out. This is how it looks when you've never used straps and you're trying to. It's weird. Yeah. All right, there you go. All right. All right, let's try this. No, that should be good. It's like 35 pounds. All right. It's 8, we'll do 5-second rest and then we'll do 4 more. I'll just do that. Left arm gave up like at number 6, which is not ideal. All right, let's just do like 4 more really quick. God, that's embarrassing. All right, 4 more. All right.
That's about all I got. So doesn't work every time. Just, show their lateral raises with this thing. It's pretty cool. Try them out. We'll do not that much weight, about 12.5 pounds. All right, try it out. 2 sets of this. Pilo, no. No te metas en la vaina otra vez. All right, 2. 3. Yes. All right, 15. ¿Quieres grabar esta de acá? Si no, nos metemos. All right. Left arm now. All right. Five more. Come on. All right, one more set of this and then we're done. 2 more of this, or I guess, one for each side. 15 pounds now. So 2.5 pound increment. All right, let's do this well. One-third. 6. Two-thirds. 10. Two. Dos. 3 more. Come on. 2 more. Couple partials. All right. Another arm. All right. You got to make sure every set you're pushing, gosh, you're giving it your best, even though it might not look like it. You got to give your best. Every set, every rep. Come on. Six more. Come on, 6 more. One more. Try a couple partials. All right, that's that. Try some biceps and then gym done. Whew. All right, so last set, we're doing supersets of curls, so Bayesian curls, and then tricep pushdowns. So last one, so we've already done 2. So we just gotta kill it, get a good pump. We'll go show the physique after and give some post-workout thoughts. So 12.5 pounds on the, no, 15 pounds, right? Yeah, this should be 15 pounds.
Son 17.5.
Okay. So yeah, I think it is 12.5 pounds on the thing, so hopefully this records well. All right, let's see. 15. Ten. Come on, 5 more. 5 good reps. Come on. 1. One more. All right, let's see how more we can squeeze out. 15. Come on. That's that. All right. Left. I think so, yeah. Left. Do that, yeah. Five more. Or 6. 10. Come on. Two more. One more. See how many more we can squeeze out. Can't even speak well. Come on. That's it. All right. Whew. All right, bi's done. One more of tries and then we're good. All right. Let's switch this thing up. Let's see. You can probably see me there. Yeah, good stuff. Nice, right? Let's do 20. All right, so we're gonna do about 20 pounds here. Yeah. All right. Let's get a bit of water in me. All right. All right, let's really push it. Come on, guys. Let's push it. All right. Let's empty the gas tank. Come on. That's all that matters is feeling like you emptied the gas tank, right? Come on. Five more, come on. Five more, five more, five more. One more. God. Left arm. Last set of the day. Come on. some Bruno to finish off. That looks good.
'Fuck, one more, come on. All right, done. Is this filming? Yes. This is weird. Why is this not filming? Okay. Okay, we're back. Just finished. I don't know if you can see. Can you see it? Kind of. All right, we'll do a physique update in a minute. Good workout. Not the best, not the worst. That's most days though. All right, so quick, well, I guess not update, but first physique kind of show. That's how it's looking like. I don't know if you can see that well. Don't really have much of a back. I don't know if you can see it well. Alright, turn around really quick. So that's biceps. Yeah, that's about that. Can you? I don't know if you saw the. All right, that's that. All right, so we made it back home. Just finished the gym session and walked back home. About a 10-minute walk, so not too bad for a morning workout. All we have to do now, really, is get ready for work. That's one of the biggest challenges of this whole thing. It's just the fact that I work from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day. I actually moved to this apartment about a month ago. I'll probably talk about that in a later video when I sort of do a recap of life and just how we got to this point. But yeah, working from 7 to 4, so it basically takes a big chunk out of the day in which I can do nothing but just focus on what I do at work. I'm working in sales, still not taking calls or making calls, still in training. So hopefully we'll get to operations fairly soon there so I can start commissioning and I don't know, just doing cool stuff, right? So gotta get ready. It's what, let me check the phone. 6:10 a.m. So about 3 hours we've been awake. Gotta leave probably about 6:40, about a 20-minute bike ride if I don't want to pedal too hard. So really all we got to do is take a shower and get ready because I'm going to show you guys. So you guys saw this morning we ate the little rice cake things. This is the kitchen. Hopefully it's not too messy. But here's, wow, this is weird carrying this thing. So this is the beauty. It's lunch or it's breakfast and lunch actually. So it may look a bit weird, but I'll show you what it is. I mean, you can't really see it. I mean, you can almost see it there. So what that is, I'll try to see if I can maybe put the Let me disable this. Okay, no. All right. I'm gonna try to see if I can maybe put the macros in here. But basically what that is, let me see, macros in here sometime, I don't know. Can you see the macros? All right, so let me enable this back. All right, so that is 2 servings, so breakfast and lunch, and that is 150 grams of white rice. That is 175 grams of lentils, I think you call them, and then about 100 grams of ground beef. There's some variation there, and I'll tell you exactly what it is, but that's sort of the target that I'm trying to do. So I'll tell you the first meal, so breakfast, it's going to be exactly those macros that I told you. That's going to break down to 1,452 calories, 72 grams of protein, 20 grams of fat, and 227 grams of carbs. And then the second meal, it's going to be a bit different. So I try to keep it the same as breakfast, but didn't have enough, I think, not enough lentils for the second meal, so I'm going to have to cook today. But the second meal is 1,298 calories, 67 grams of protein, 29 grams of fat, 179 grams of carbs. So also I speak a bit fast. I'm gonna try to do that better for you guys. Okay, so the total macros for breakfast and lunch with those 2 meals are gonna be about 2,750 calories consumed, about 140 grams of protein, 50 of fat, and then about 400 of carbs. That gets me really close to my target goals. So target calories right now, can't really see that, but I'll try to put it on screen also. About 3,200 calories per day is the goal. So I'll eat that at work, and then when I come back, basically I'll just have some eggs. That's about 5 large eggs, about 400 grams or 400 calories, and that'll get me across the pond. So that's just trying to keep it simple, right? I don't know how to cook, right? I'll show you guys. I have this little guy over here. Let me see. So that little guy, it's like a multi-cooker, kind of like an Instapot, but the Colombian version. And so that basically helps me do everything. Still can't, get everything to taste, perfect, or, I don't know how to season and stuff, but, just trying to keep it simple, things that I can eat every day. And, hopefully, again, it's the same thing as the gym and everything we've been talking about, right? It's just being consistent with everything we do, and then it'll get better as time goes on. So that's macros done for today. We'll recap that at night. And then last thing I want to do before I go is just sort of talk about what I need to do when I get back. So, like I said, I'll be going out of work at about 4 p.m. Bike ride, I don't know, I'll probably be back 4:30, 4:45. And I need to cook because I don't have any more meat. So I need to cook some ground beef. I need to cook some rice, probably some lentils. So basically, I need to do a lot of cooking today. Prep for at least 4 days worth of meals. So till about Thursday. And that's about it. We'll try to keep things simple, right? Not overwhelm ourselves, because that's something I do often. It's just I'd say I'm going to come back home and do 1,000 things and then end up doing none of them. So keep it simple. Just got to cook. If we have any spare time, we'll throw in some studying, or we'll talk about sort of some of the goals we have and how we can achieve them. So gonna get in the shower, get ready for work, bike to work, do that, and then I guess you guys will see me here at 4 p.m. and we'll do some cooking, we'll do some talking, and that'll be day one. So exciting stuff. All right, I just got back home, maybe about 5 minutes ago. Wow, that's a very loud introduction to the afternoon. I apologize. Anyways, got home about 5 minutes ago. It's about 3 minutes till 5 p.m. So, got here in time, as I said I would, in the morning. That is a very annoying sound.
Let's see if it stops. There you go. I think it did. All right. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you guys about that I reflected upon and just things that happened throughout the day that I think are worth having a little chat about. The first one is how those little temptations that derail us from our purpose and our goals they come in the most normal of envelopes day to day. So today at work we talked a lot about girlfriends and boyfriends and relationships and what would you do if A happened and how would you react if B happened, right? All of these sort of relationship-y questions, around what would you tolerate, what would you not, what would you want in a partner, all of these sort of questions. And, as we go through more days, we'll probably talk a little bit more about the things that I'm struggling with more deeply rather than, the sort of general view we gave in the first video. But one of those is struggling with sort of the broad concept of lust, or in general, thinking about women too much. And I think that comes in a number of different ways. I think that sort of manifests in me thinking about old partners and, wanting to text them and, get together or, just talk for the sake of talking, for the sake of not feeling alone. And I think me wanting to do that isn't a reflection of me missing them per se. It's really more of a reflection that I miss being with someone, that I don't enjoy being with myself, that I long for someone holding my hand or having someone to say that I've gotten home and that I'm about to start cooking. And so how that relates to the conversations we had at work is this happens often. We have these conversations at work. The difference is a lot of times I'll come home and I'll sort of be very vulnerable because of sort of like all the exposure I've had to this topic over the day. So I come home, it's, an empty apartment, it's an empty phone, I have no calls, no texts. And so my mind instantly goes to that place if I want to escape this. I want to escape this reality. I want to go the easy route of texting old people or, in extreme cases, I'll go to the, I'll want to, as ashamed as I am of saying it on camera, I'll just, talk to a stripper or, get a prostitute, which is not things I want to be doing, right? Or I'll fall into watching pornography or else, and that sort of messes up the day. I can have done all the things that I did today, right? Go to the gym, go to work, eat both of my meals, which I did, and then come back, do that, and the day is ruined. I feel like I made no progress because in a way I didn't. You fell into temptation again. So I think it's a worthwhile exercise to sort of analyze your days for those little sort of cues that you understand get you in certain places in your mind that you might be vulnerable with, places that might derail you from where you want to go. And I think it's, incredibly important to be very conscious of how you let that affect the rest of your day. And it's tough. I'm not going to say it's as easy as just thinking about it and then not doing it. It's hard. I haven't found an answer as to how to stop. So hopefully by watching this series with me, you'll figure out what my answer is and hopefully get one for yourself. But a little indication that I have is this, right? It's having some other purpose, having some higher order thing you need to do apart from falling into temptation. As much as I, dreaded getting on that bike and coming home and knowing that I have to cook, knowing that I could record and talk to the camera and that I was going to do this felt purposeful. It felt important. And in a way, it probably gave me some sort of accountability as to, not filming myself doing the things I shouldn't be. So the first takeaway is, audit your life for those little things that seem normal, that maybe derail you, right? They maybe tip over your day from being a good one to a bad one. And just try to figure out how to trick your brain into not falling. I think another worthwhile point in there is sometimes not falling is progress. As counterintuitive as that sounds. But maybe a day spent, sitting down in your couch or in your chair, just looking out the window, or you're just looking up at the white wall in front of you, not doing anything, just trying to not fall into temptation, trying to not fall into doing things you're not supposed to do, just forcing yourself to not do the things, even if you don't do things you're supposed to do, just forcing yourself not to do things that are not good for you is progress. That's one more day that you've added to your repertoire of getting further away from the man you don't want to be. And in a way, that's also getting closer to the man you want to be. So that's the first point. The second one, sort of related to the topic of women, is I've never been alone in my life, truly alone. And so that that sort of represents itself in my life as, since I've been 15 years old, I've always been in relationships. And I finish one, I jump into another, and that's not me being exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating what I'm saying. I think my first relationship was, it ended the 15th, and I got into my other relationship on the 16th of the same month, which is funny, but that's been a continuum through my life. Now I'm 22, and even though I've perhaps not had a girlfriend all those times, it's been a continuous of having a relationship or talking to someone or letting go of someone because there's someone else who can sort of fill in that void of being lonely. And I think that's very dangerous, and it's been very dangerous, and it's been very bad for me. Because I struggle to be with myself. I struggle to sort of live this life where all I have is the image in the mirror. And I think that's one of the most important things we all need to do as humans, is learn how to be by ourselves and do what we're supposed to do and just be okay at doing that. And I've been trying not to get in relationships, not that I'm, this player guy who's having to avoid it all the time, but I've been trying to not engage in the behaviors that a man pursuing that would. Trying not to sound flirty when I talk to women, and I'm trying to not look at them, in the street or at work. I'm trying to not see a relationship in any sort of little conversation I have with a woman and think about the potential of what we could be. And I do that because I long for having a deep, very deep relationship with someone, hopefully the person that I'll spend the rest of my life with. I really, really want that. I want to commit, and I want to live a life where that part of me, the part of me that gives, the part of me that loves, it's all put into this one really amazing person. I really want that, and I want to build alongside her, and I want to, just caress her when she's not feeling well, or just sit here with her and, watch the pretty view. I don't want to play games. I don't want to, play the game of getting to know each other and not saying what we feel and, playing jealous and doing stupid, adolescent things of going out with other people or being a bad partner. I want to be good. I want to be someone for someone else's full life, and and I want that in my life. And so, in thinking that, there has to be this period of adjustment of me going from never, ever have been alone, to learning how to do that, learning how to live with myself, sort of leveling up. Sorry, I'm messing up my words. And, when I've attained that, I don't need to be great. I don't need to be the guy that I wish to be. I just need to be on the way. I need to have at least fixed that part of myself that has insecurities around women and relationships before she can come. That person that's going to be with me for the rest of my life, hopefully. And so that really manifests in action as doing those tiny little actions every day of not flirting, not looking at women, not thinking about them as this sort of sexual relationship object, but just focusing on myself, really. It's really about just neglecting the external world and just focusing on me. And then leveling up. And then she'll probably show up. So that's one of the things that I've been thinking a lot about is sort of finding that partner. And what that means for me, I think it was Ilya Taporia who talked about doing your list, right? What is it that you want in a woman? And then you have to become the list before you can sort of have her. So I think that's a worthwhile exercise I'll probably be doing. Just writing down the list and then, mirroring, the person that is worthy of having the person on that list. One of the things that I had wrote down here is not accepting anyone else's standards. And in some of the conversations I had, we sort of talked about, again, this sort of scenario type questions. What would you do if your partner looked at someone else? What would you do if you found them doing X or Y? And a lot of what I gathered and, what I've sort of found through those types of conversations with a myriad of people, not just today, is often people settle for what they think is normal. They settle for what they think is achievable in life. So what I mean by that, it's okay that my partner looks at people in the street when he or she's by him or herself, because we're all humans, and so we all look at people a certain way. It's okay that my partner, after a 10-year relationship, is probably bored of the monotony, and so they ask me to spice up the relationship by seeing other people or whatever it is. And they sort of talk about these things as that's just how life is, that's just how relationships are. That's the best you can expect. And the next point here is sort of related to what we talked about in the first video, which is wanting to live life as a movie. I think no one should settle for anything less than a movie, right? I think no one should settle for this is what life gave me and this is how relationships look. I think there's a few core items in life that are so very important and transformational to what your life becomes, that settling is, it just seems like the ultimate wrong choice. Why wouldn't you want your life's partner to be this perfect movie character? And why wouldn't you want your love story to be this magical love story that was wrote by some Disney animator? Why wouldn't you want your decision to move somewhere to be this really important sort of period where you think a lot about it, where you're going to move, and you sort of go visit, and you go sit at a coffee shop to see how it is that your thoughts merge with the city. I don't know, all of these like little tiny things that come with big actions, with big decisions. Why are we settling? We should always strive for the best because we only get one shot. Why would you not want the best thing? And so the reflection I make on myself on that point is, if you want the Disney love story, if you want the really passionate sort of relationship that comes with rom-coms or whatever it is, you need to become a person that's worthy of being in a rom-com. You need to become a person worthy of being a prince in a Disney movie, right? And I think when you do that and when you strive to be that person every day, there's just no way it doesn't turn out for you. And I think it's a worthwhile pursuit to try to swing for the fences on these things. And so really that whole second point is just don't settle for the standard. Don't settle for what people think is normal. If you want these extraordinary things, dream about them and then wake up and do the things necessary to live in the dream, to make the dream reality. I don't know if that made sense, but swing for the fences in every facet of life and do the things required for you to be able to have the skill to swing to the fences. So that's a lot of what I thought about today. Coming home and not messing up, not letting temptations in my way, and then sort of the opposite. I think this is a good sort of connection with yesterday's topic, right? Or with the video I posted before, which is, okay, I need to avoid these bad things and think about the good ones. So we avoid temptation, we avoid falling down, then we think of the deeper why. Why am I doing this? Why am I coming home and not watching pornography? Why am I coming home and not texting old people? Why am I on the street not looking at women? It's harder for you to just not do those things. But when you know you're doing this for your future self and for that future person, it doesn't become easier. It just becomes more purposeful. And so it becomes more manageable. It becomes more present, I think. Right? Because those things are present. Watching or looking at someone at the street, and apologize for someone playing reggaeton outside, but when you stop and look at someone in the street in this way, or you come home and watch pornography, those are present things. Those things feel like the most important thing in the world at this moment. Mike has 1% battery, so we'll try to wrap this up, and I'll put this to charge while I do some other things. But those are things in the present. They seem like the most important thing. And so when you think about the deeper why and you bring it to today, that's why I'm doing this today, I think that makes things more manageable. Two more things before we go. One, doing the little sort of like actions really helps every day. Okay, so mic disconnected, so hopefully you can still hear me well. We'll sort of try to wrap this up. But first thing there is
these tiny things like what Jordan Peterson talks about of having your house in order, making your bed, washing your dishes. Those tiny little details that we may think don't matter and don't add up do in ways we may not notice. So when I come home and I've made my bed and the dishes are clean, I open the door and it's light. You know, I feel that the house is poised for me to come and do good things. I feel like my environment is set up for me to achieve the things I want. When I don't, you know, I get home and I see the bed without the sheets, you know, put in the right order, and then, you know, I think about just laying there and rotting in misery because I didn't do this in the morning and work was bad because I had to rush out because I didn't have enough time or I wasn't diligent enough to do these things in the morning. You know, I'll come and then I say you know a lot. A friend of mine pointed this out, so I need to get better at not saying it. But you get home and you see the dirty dishes and you have to cook, and then it's another step you have to go through, another hurdle you have to go through. And so I have to wash these dishes and, you know, I have to wash these dishes, dry them out is what I wanted to say, put them away, and then get to cooking. Just makes things so much harder. Even though we think it's the little things, it makes things a lot harder. So one tip of technical, actionable advice is do the little things. Make your bed, clean your dishes, leave water on your filter, charge your camera, you know, all of these sort of little things that help life become easier. They help you work towards your goals, which should minimize the impact and the friction of those little sort of minute things that are must-dos but are not want-to-dos. And so with that, you know, I really just wanted to get these thoughts out of the way. This is sort of the long ramble of the video. I was also thinking I might just try to post, you know, what I did today instead of the whole week, because that's going to get really messy. Maybe it's going to be harder to understand. It's also going to be, you know, magnet. It's harder to edit, so we'll see how that works. But anyways, this is probably the long monologue of the video. A couple of key takeaways there. What I'm going to do now is charge the camera. And again, the things that I said I needed to do were I need to go cook, right? So I need to do my lentils for the week, my rice for the week, and my beef for the week. So I need to do those three things. That's my priority. It's 5:21. I need to do that before I go to bed, really. And if I have any other time, I was thinking perhaps I'd jump on the computer and watch some tutorials about how to use DaVinci Resolve, which is the editing software, so I can make these videos better for you guys. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, do that. Maybe talk to you after I've done the cooking, show you how it looks, and we'll go from there. Anyways, just keep strong and you know, reflect and act.